Hi, kindergarten. So I have one more Denise Fleming book that I'm going to share with you. And here comes my Macy coming up to say hello. She wants to hear the story too. The story I read you last week, you might remember, was that the book called Lunch, which had that little mouse in it. And Denise Fleming decided that there was more to that mouse than just the lunch story. So she wrote another book and has him in it. This book is called Alphabet Under Construction. Do you know what it means if something's under construction? It means that something's being built or being repaired. And you see that our little mouse, who again is bigger than a mouse would be in real life, she wants us really close, has a whole toolbox he's carrying around with him. And this book, one of the reasons I really love this one especially is that it's kind of like a guessing game. And you'll see what I mean once we get started. So, Alphabet Under Construction, written and illustrated by Denise Fleming. So, the mouse is making each letter of the alphabet in a different way. And the way that he is making, the way he is constructing that letter starts with that letter of the alphabet. So let me show you what we mean. Mouse airbrushes the A. Now, airbrush is kind of like spray painting. It uses air to shoot paint out of something. And airbrush starts with A. So that's what he is using to make that A. Mouse airbrushes the A. What is he doing with the B? What are these? Can you tell? He buttons the B. Button starts with B. That's what he's using to make the B. And C over here. Switch to this side. Now, I think he's using a mallet and a chisel. And I know you might think he's cutting the A. Think about what we do when we turn a pumpkin into a jack-o'-lantern. What word starts with that k sound, that C sound? He carves the C. That's how he's making the C. And the D. Look, see how he's dipping the D into something and it has different colors on it. Now he's not painting it. Think about what we call it when we decorate Easter eggs. Decorate is another D word. We dye Easter eggs. We dip them in dye. So mouse dyes the D. Now this one, you know this one. It's a chalkboard and he has chalk here. And what's this that he's using for the E? It's an eraser. He erases the E. F looks like it's made of pretty paper. Now, what is he doing that starts with F to turn this pretty paper into the letter F? He folds the F. This one. Oh, you guys know this one. What is this that he's using to make the G? G. What starts with that G sound? He glues the G. And the H, he's got a hook up here that starts with H also, but he's climbing up. And what is he doing with the H? He hangs the H. He hangs it from a hook. And the I, this one always makes me hungry. He's putting something, it looks like the I is made of cake, and he's putting something pink and fluffy and delicious all over it. Now, sometimes we call that frosting, but we need an I word. So we also sometimes call it icing. He ices the I. And the J, look at this. He is giving a blue ribbon to the J. He is giving it a prize. Now, what kind of person or character decides who wins a prize? It's a judge. So he judges the J and he decides it gets a blue ribbon. He judges the J. the K. Now, this one's a little bit of a hard one, but these look to me like they're made of straws that you drink from. And sometimes when you're drinking from a straw, or if one of your grown-ups is using the hose to water in the yard, and the hose or the straw gets a bend in it, so the water or the drink can't really go past that bend, it gets stuck. That's called a kink, and that's a K word. So he kinks the K. That's how he made it. He kinks the K. The L. Does anyone know what this kind of tool is? One of your grown-ups might have a tool like this that they use to try to keep things straight. Sometimes when you're hanging something up, you want to make sure it is straight across the wall. And this kind of tool has these little bubbles in it that help you see if something is straight. That tool is called a level. He levels the L. Just wants to see if it's straight. That does not look very straight to me. Does it look straight to you? I don't think so. Oh, and this one, you know this one. What is he doing with the M? He measures the M. And this one with the N, he's got a hammer, but a hammer's not an N word. What is he using to make the N that starts with N? He is using a hammer and a nail. He nails the N. Oh, he has a little checklist he's checking off. Is it sanded? Check, yes. Is it painted? Check, yes. Is it ready to go? Check, yes. So he okays the O. He's saying it's all right, it is good to go. Oh, this one's a hard one. The P is made of a plant, which is a P word, but he is trimming it. Now, sometimes when someone is trimming bushes or plants, we call that pruning. So he prunes the P. He is using his pruning shears, his scissors, to cut that plant into the shape of a P. So he prunes the P. This is a special kind of sewing. I didn't know what this was before I read this book, so I'm not sure if you will either, unless you have someone in your life who makes blankets. This is a special kind of sewing called quilting. So he quilts the Q. He's sewing sort of fabric or stuffing into the Q to make it kind of puffy like the inside of a pillow. So he quilts the Q. And the R. You can see he's painting the R, but painting isn't an R word. So what is he using to get the paint onto this R? What is he using? Does anyone know? That is a roller. So he rolls the R. And this one, I bet lots of you know this one. This is a special tool to cut wood. And it starts with an S because he's making the S. He saws the S. And the T. He is putting little something on here, something we sometimes have in our bathrooms or in our kitchen. These little square pieces he is putting on the T. They are called tiles. So he tiles the T. The U is on kind of a shade, kind of like a shade that you pull down in your window. So that all rolls up at the top. So how does he get the U? He unrolls it. When he pulls down on it, it unrolls. So he unrolls the U. Oh, this one you guys know. Look what he's doing. What kind of machine is this very noisy machine that we use in our houses sometimes? He vacuums the V. He makes a pattern in the rug with the vacuum. And this one now, this is very, very hot. I don't know if you can tell that. That is fire. And sometimes when we have pieces of metal, which is what this W is made of, when we have pieces of metal and we want to make them move, change the shape of them or make them stick together, we use fire, and that's called welding. So he welds the W. What's what is this? What's he doing with the X? Sometimes you have to go, if you think maybe you have a broken bone, you need to go to the doctor or the hospital, and they do an X-ray. So mouse X-rays the X, the Y. He's got it hanging from a rope, and this is a thing called a pulley. You learned, I think, about wheels and pulleys in kindergarten this year. And he is pulling hard on that string. And when you pull very hard and very quickly on something, we sometimes call that yanking. So he yanks the Y. And this last one, everybody's going to get this one. He zips. There's a zipper. He zips the Z. Lots of creative ways to make the alphabet. And then he has a calendar here and he checks off each letter as he makes it. So Mouse has worked very hard and he is done. I hope you liked that one. Be good. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.